Dobrze dysponowany snajper na Inferno kupuje naprawdę wiele przestrzeni, może kupić całego badana równie dobrze, no ale póki co czekam na to, jak to będzie wyglądało. Tak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think as I saw kills come in, there was a lot of utility on the belt buckle of these NIP players.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting to try and hold on to your smokes until the last 30 to 45 seconds to slow Cloud9 down. The fact that they're conditioning you this early with this type of play means that NIP are going to have to use that utility early. And this is now where Cloud9 can go back to their bread and butter and play their standard, more slow, methodical style of Counter-Strike if they like. Because right now they're bullying NIP early here. 4-0 lead, 1 rifle saved. But that's about it.
Yeah, they haven't really got to play the game. You know, this is the first weapon round, and already they were just hitting panic buttons and getting run down. Rez with one, Hampus another, but yeah, just frags are low for the Ninjas as it stands. Brolin yet to put his name in the feed in a positive light, and that, talking of positive light, that is impressive. I was looking, it looked like it was like a 9-1 or something. It was very dominant from G2 initially, but seems starting that second half strong, and the 10-5 now goes 10-7.
Yeah, not a bad little bit of play right there.
Not
from
a bad
Imperial
haul.
keeping it close against a team like G2. So good stuff from the Brazilian side. Back in with a half purchase around. Oh, just saved AK-47. The shot of Hampus whistles by, but does not get a second chance. Shiro's AWP is out.
That was a little too much. Hampus, a double repeat on that scout. The first I'll allow, the second Shiro will be quick to punish. And Chad, we do have to take note of the speed by which this round is going down already. They've got full top banana control. You've already dinged Plopsky down to 6.
You know what's quite funny here is Shiro, he is wielding Esatag's AWP, which has a Cloud9 sticker on it from the days that Esatag was there. So we've come full circle.
Yep, appropriate.
As we come on over for a bit of a gamble B stack right here from the Swedes.
Smoke.
Ow, that's the thing as well, right? Calling out the smoke when you go for a gamble stack, you have a choice. Do we want to let them come on in and use our numbers here, or do we want to smoke and block them to deny? Well, they did both. I think either way, this round is going to fall away from them here. Hobbit's forward position up in Boiler as well. He can hear if there's any steps over towards the short side, or if there's any noise as far as rotations go. He might call the team back over late here. They're starting to posture and set on up. If they continue forward with the bomb, could be a few problems here for Cloud9. Another smoke to deny at the 30-second mark. They can still drop on back. If Hobbit wants to have a look now, there's still time.
Yeah, they are. And the round loses its potency now.
Yeah, okay. Well, hold on to these goodies. It's mainly the armor, right, that you want to hold on to if you're NIP to just get the buy into the next a little bit better around the edges with the util and all the goodies. 9, 8, 7, and the digits are getting punched on in. Bomb goes down. And now 40 seconds remain as we see Cloud9 go up to a 5-0 lead on the T side of Inferno. Now, one of the biggest critiques of Cloud9, I would say, is that there's no question mark in the way that they approach the game. It's by the book, right? It's good Counter-Strike to watch, right? If you're a coach or an in-game leader or someone who just likes fine, you know, ABC Counter-Strike, you definitely like the way that Cloud9 approach the game. But one of the question marks is they lack players to throw haymakers, right? It would always be Hobbit that would bail them out of a situation. You know that Shiro's good in a clutch, but they're the clutches where, you know, his team have done a lot of work and he's in a 1-on-2 and he's in a really good position to close them on out, right? But they have really strong individuals. And if they start acting like really strong individuals, and then on, let's say, they make it to the big stage and Shiro does a massive clutch or Axel does a massive move, this is where these names who, for whatever reason, haven't caught on as fan favorites will become exactly that. Because they've got some personality about them here in the server. Nafany has it outside. The rest of them do it in the server. And this should be a team that people want to see do well because they've done the hard graft. Yeah. They came in a team that wasn't a partner team and became one of the best squads in the world through hard work and determination.
Yeah, and it only, you know, needs its climax. They haven't even reached the peak of their story yet. Joining Cloud9, representing already a
but they will pop and go and apply pressure.
Yes, it's now fine from Hampus, just reading Nafany's hug on the brackets. Reloads in the open. That could be a sign for Hobbit to nutmeg just upon the fade. Dunks Hampus back to the grave. Long is his. Util towards the A site. Archer's smoked. A CT smoke will stop Hobbit from getting too much early.
Helps him out here a lot.
Yeah, he can actually crawl and take space. Confirms library clear. Flash does nothing. They're closing in. Res something from the pit. Needs another. Worming through. Actually, S-Attack good onto that Hobbit. Long side find. It's Inter's dinked. Can't find the shot either from Shiro. It's not really like on time. 5. 4.
In a difficult position. They were coming up short and wrapping that long side right there. So well done on the A defense from NIP. Fun to note, they've got Brolin and Plopsky over towards B. Former teammates once upon a time. Knocking down that B bomb site together here as we do get
posted up on short. Shiro and Axel trying to take space back away. Another miss. This time Shiro just tries to hit the quick flick.
very difficult round to get back into
I mean,
here.
the bomb is step 1, and that's been done without any bloodshed.
Or it should be done. Axel, you didn't.
Wait.
You didn't pick it up there, mate. Axel, you didn't get the bomb.
No. Okay. He's going to realize soon.
Or are they saving? Maybe they're saving.
But
Shiro's position already over towards the door.
Sure.
I know what you're saying. Maybe if they had the bomb, they might reconsider. But the fact that he left the bomb,
No, I know, but I'm just thinking, like, it's almost them not having the bomb and seeing the bomb still in boiler almost makes it more clear
that it's a save. Yeah.
If the bomb disappears, everyone's like, okay,
Where are
Nick
they
heals in, I'm
going?
going to get info.
well, it's the perfect play from NIP after the opening exchange. Just going to turtle on up. You can see the X's there on the radar, top left-hand side of your screen, next to the blinking bomb. All the corpses littered in the exact same spot. So you could see there was a bit more of a direct approach, but NIP have adjusted now. They were ready for more of a heads-up maneuver. They were locking down top mid, and they were doing it through elevation.
Yeah, the boost is powerful, and I guess that's the perfect call when it seems like, you know, Cloud9, as you've identified, were playing not their own game, or not what you would expect out of the gates in the pace department. So they've adjusted, and that might put Cloud9 now into that more default approach. We might get a proper standard round of Counter-Strike here, round 8.
Well, 2 saves back-to-back from Shiro is definitely sending us in that direction here. Now, this is a timeout taken. Groove, an opportunity for him to get on the mic, and a couple of notes right there. They look like dot points.
I shouldn't be trying to read their notes. It's just funny. I saw CT, and there was one line of text, and then T, there's a whole barrage of different tips.
CT probably says M4A1S, and T is like 733 strategies to deal with the M4A1S. So,
yeah, well, I guess he's probably exhausted all of his CT strats. Go kill. They get 2 rounds. And they find them back to back. So as you've been discussing, it is going to be starting to attack the funds.
I'm curious what the change-up is here, right? Because Groove has taken the time out here to have a conversation. Brolin is yet to get a kill, so maybe they want to give the B-bomb site a little bit of love. See if they can find a weakness over there. We've seen Shiro attempt to go aggressive with a bit of a AWP aggressive maneuver up the choke point. This is a smoke thrown out early from Nafany over towards B, and he's doing that with intent. So they will deny the top of Banana with utility of their own. See Brolin playing behind that with a swift little jump just to see if anybody wants to slink on forward and is worried about this. They will set up a boost and use the smoke against them here. The nade coming on through. It's going to do a tickle of damage onto Plopsky. Brolin, he has the information, so that smoke doesn't account for a lot until the flash comes on through. So back and forth the util game goes. The info falling in favor of Cloud9 as they thrust themselves forward. They get banana control quite concisely here. And the rotation coming on in from Hampus to at least donate some utility to this already pressured B site.
They're coming. Nafany and Axel asking questions of B. However, they can't do anything in terms of close until we do see Util arrive. Shiro is there behind them. Inters has the alternative, as does Hobbit. So you can see for now their responsibilities were just to cage any CT aggression of apps. Inters now has given up the ghost on that.
This is one of the biggest issues right now if you're a CT side on a map like Inferno. Absolutely no control across the map. No information banana, no information top mid.
Oh, there's some information for you. An immediate smoke drop, but they wanted that. They're just going to go off it. A flash. A nice find from Plomsky, and in the smoke lies Brolin. Takes his first frag. Scouts Exile, and they are out.
Might be another save here. 20 seconds left, no way forward. The way back, I don't think there's enough time. And 3 consecutive rounds. 3 consecutive saves.
Yeah, at least they get to have another go. 3. The majority of your forces will be well equipped.
And this is the positive side of that game, because with 3 rounds lost, the loss bonus is built to a point where Axile and Nafany can buy AKs again with utility. Sure, still has enough to get a couple of pieces himself, Inters and Hobbit as well. So it's going to be a full buy. And you can see the positives of the save. Now, in terms of the excitement, maybe lacking a little bit there, but Imperial, I cannot believe it, have tied things up 11-11 against G2 on Mirage. The old boys rolling back the years and taking it to G2. Wow.
Yeah, some viewership records going to be broken, I reckon, on the Gaules stream. 11-11, that is a dream come true. Let's see how they go with that. Well, Brolin is actually going to meet Axel immediately face to face. Look at the pep in his step. He just charges forward. Brolin can't believe his luck. He's been given it. Oh, plant pot trick shot there.
Yeah, well, NIP have definitely course corrected. There's another. Inter's dead.
Wow.
That AWP, Jacob was asking how much can Tag get done with it. Well, he's found a couple of kills with it, so not faring too poorly here. But as mentioned, the AWP on the CT side of a map like Inferno, it is so difficult. Do we just get another Cloud9 save here again?
Probably. Makes more sense than the alternative. It's a regroup.
Don't do us like this, boys. Come on now.
It's a regroup. That's what it is. Still lots of time, but it seems like...
Are they luring you into this, Alex?
Like they are progressing up Banana, Shadney, so there is no smokes on this B defense. There's nothing to hold them at bay. Hampus
he's coming.
crawling. He doesn't want to be heard if they had their ear pressed to Speedway.
Sure is thinking, I could save this again.
Guys, I don't know if we're...
We
Okay,
really
here we
want
go.
to try this, guys.
Here they come. Counter Molly, 1 cross to pull. Oh, Hobbit, perfect flash from NIP, and they will have nothing. Nothing, all taken away from them by the B defenders. Brolin with 3 kills. He started that with the aggression onto Axile, and finally, I believe Cloud9 will have to swallow their pride and take an eco.
Yeah, a half buy possible here. With they've taken the lead. Imagine if they win this game.
I'm bringing it up
It
on
would
my
be
second
classic G2 fashion, wouldn't it? That would be remarkable. If Imperial win this, this is a massive scout for them to take. Like they won against Liquid, sure. They won against Force to get here, but beating G2, that would be massive. Anyway, shoe on the other foot on this stream right here. NIP have now been able to bolster a bank with the rounds they have won consecutively here. 4 on the trot, 3 of which have Cloud9 more than happy to concede and save. And now that half buy has come on through. Some Tech9, some Digs, P250 in the mix, and some light util. They're waiting out exactly that. Smoke towards the long side, deployed from up close and personal. Rez will be denied, and yeah, he knows he's up against the pistols here, so you can see that immediate backpedal, not wanting to get caught out of position. Hobbit had to extinguish there. He did not have any choice, and now he is really prodding. He was asking for that, as Hampus will find the opening pick, and now Cloud9, what started so well for them on Inferno is fallen flat with 5 consecutive rounds for NIP, more than likely, with just 4 more to find.
Yeah, and there's nothing more scary than Rez equipped with an AK-47 on the defense as well. So A is a no-go. Heading over to B again, and the boost is established. So Brolin so far has managed to find all of his frags. Ooh, that's a good incendiary. Axel will have to go wide on that. Oh, he gets it again! Still threatening. It's only 2 of them now. Hampus trying his best, and it's all onto Hobbit versus Hampus. Knows where he is, has time. Can Hampus remedy the problem? He does save them. Oh, boys, you can see his face says it all.
Yeah, he'll bail them out. Well, the in-game leader will come on 3 and scoop that one up. It got a little bit worrisome there, didn't it?
I mean, think of it from Cloud9's perspective. They nearly had something absolutely ridiculous to break their silence. Yeah, timeout just to break it down and to talk about the next gun round, but that is going to be the 5th.
One of the key themes of these 5 consecutive is Mouth seems very legit.
Yeah, and this looks legit as well. Pace seems to be the answer called upon after the timeout. Cloud9 want to throw bodies to Banana as Brawler tested and meets his maker. Nafany, one. Plopsky alone summons Hampus for aid, and they are going for the spoof. Surely it's predicted. Surely it's predicted. Not ready. Nafany is alive. He gets away. Saved by Hobbit. Nade down the throat. Plopsky swallows it for 28. Is all he's got left, and they're backing away already. So Cloud9, that is an effective timeout. If they can have a spotless T round off the back of it, dreamy.
Yeah, well, we normally talk about forced buy wars earlier where people like to spend and spend and spend. Right now, we're in the $1 shop, the bargain basement deals right now as it's save, save, save. We got deals all over the Inferno.
And in the UK, we call it Poundland.
Great name.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, neither team offering out too much of a pounding right now. We're quite equal.
Yeah, well, it started with one way, it's gone the other, and just now righting the ship are Cloud9. So they've traded 5 apiece.
With an opening from Nafany. So it's 5 consecutive with openings from NIP, and Nafany said, I've seen enough of that. That's one of the hyper-aggressive movers this in-game leader has become known for. Cracks open the B bomb site. Able to take We get it.
I just wanted to flex, okay? Those are few of the movies I've actually seen.
I never thought to stay in touch with our audience watching anime was one of the things
The
that we
core
would have
principles.
to do.
Yep.
But apparently it is here as we get back into the gun. Still plenty of cash was left over for NIP with the save. So both teams are being very reserved in the finance department here, which means we're going to have threatening rounds through down the tail end through the straight.
Esatag, you are playing with fine to take. Bang. Oh, scary scenes. He's got dinked down to 1 HP. Careful not to crater. Does get a soft dismount. Okay, panic over. He lives on.
Well, if anyone's got good movement, it is Esatag. So graceful like a gazelle.
You can give gazelles too much credit, you know. Sometimes they do look quite clumsy. I don't know if you can really task Esatag with holding any part of this ace site. He's just such an unpredictable outcome for him. Plopsky's jumping for info. Maybe going to bait for Brolan.
I don't think that's
Not going to clear. Okay, gets it. Surely he's cooked. Counter incendiary. Take a fight. Catch a bullet. 4 on 4, just about. Don't forget the Esatag status.
Oh.
What a shot. Plopsky from way downtown takes another scalp. It's Axile. And now they're channeled into A with 30 seconds. Rez actually choosing to aggress on this. You have the man advantage, but he's not satisfied, and it leads to his demise. They are going to catapult now into the site. Hampus will hear them through apps. A powerful angle, catching them inaccurate on the balcony. He walks back in. Another contribution from Esatag, despite the low HP. And Shiro with a 1v2, a very manageable 1v2.
Oh, flubbed his line on the smoke right there.
Going to have the ninja scratching their head. What does that mean? What does that do? He's going to try and play around it.
Maybe he didn't flub his lines. This could be brilliant right here.
Is it a one-way?
Smokes a wall behind him right now. Oh.
Heard it. Heard it. Esatag. Okay. Just they close. It's Plopsky responsible for it. Just pulling a 6th out of the hat. That was an intense round of Counter-Strike there and an important recovery. But that was just a blip on the radar, really. I mean, we've seen one Cloud9 round. Everything else, a slew of blue.
Good trading here.
Look at that.
Okay. Never mind. I thought that he had just like pipped him through the corner, but actually just a spam kill from Plopsky. That was brilliant right there, and he does finish off the round as well with the final frag.
I'm going to check that G2 update. Oh.
Yeah, it's quite the game to keep glued on, isn't it?
14 just about. Cover your ears, I apologize. Oh my goodness, our own round has already kicked off full steam. Damage was done, burn they heard, and now Plopsky still, despite the rumble of information and the dunk from Hampus, they will leave with the lead. And the bomb's on half wall. He's trying to threaten with the molly. Be brave if he wanted to go through that smoke. He's going to spray in, and that costs him his life. Likely the round as well. Inters and Shiro on the wrong side of the map without the bomb. What are you gonna? What do you get out of A? You're gonna hope to catch the A lurk. No one's home.
There was an idea that would have made sense. It just meant that Axel had to survive because knowing that you can fortify the bomb top and on a half wall, it was always going to draw at least one rotation. So if Axel had been able to stay alive in that situation, he threw himself into the smoke there and got taken on down. Would have put him in a pretty good stead to allow his teammates to try and find something to work with here. But you've got another incendiary or two, some flashes available, a smoke now just dispatched. For Cloud9, it's a very rough one right now to get on into a round like this. A nice tidy nade will do a little bit of chip damage. They can throw the Molotov over towards the sandbag position and try and flush out. But again, another smoke deployed and you have 25 seconds left on the clock. It has to be the save. Yeah. And we've said that quite frequently now as NIP have taken the lead in this one. They will be getting themselves up to a 7-6 scoreline. And that this time round was with the opening of Nafany, just unable to convert off the back of that. The next two consecutive kills came on over and landed in the pocket of NIP. So good stuff from the Swedes now.
Really nice kill distribution as well. We know Brolin had a slow start, but he definitely has awoken and been a contributor to some of their round wins. But everyone else, a couple of frags between them. So all of the Swedes and the Dane delivering in equal capacity, equal measure. G2 trying to right the ship over on the B stream. Shiro just going to be laying down what he can to set the scene for the last two of play here on their T side. There
will be enough money for Cloud9 to have a full buy round now, as you can see, and a full gun round into the next as well by virtue of the loss bonus. So the economy's actually been quite kind to them in the way that their saves have played on out. They've kept themselves very threatening, and not in the same way as Ents did earlier today with 4 spies, but by management of their money. Not wanting to fight for any banana control right now, and yeah, tickled on up by the flames right there. S-Attack has to drop back. This will completely change and shift the setup that NIP were working with right there. If he didn't get tickled by the flames, they could have stayed postured forward, but they will have to choose something different now. As flash on over, incendiary forward, one on the way back, and space to be taken here by NIP as they don't do it early, they do it mid-round, which is great against a team like Cloud9, who are a bit more methodical, like to wait out the protocol utility. Well, now, by doing it when the timing was about 1:20, they've bought B. So if it is a B execute, they have both players in the site. This is exactly what you want, but Nafany wants to do this quickly. Look at this forward posturing position.
Yeah, he's going to strike at the same time as Hobbit.
Contact, contact, contact.
Brolin's still looking the wrong way. Plopsky, just on the jiggle, does manage to fall to Brolan, and there's a gap in the one-way. Look at that. Both of them are playing around the smoke. They can't see anything. Brolan has got it done. That is horrendous to walk around the corner into. 2 players with gaps under and over the smoke. What do you call that one?
Yeah, some next level nerd stuff right there out of this duo on the B bomb side.
One smoke, 2 angles, bro.
That is filthy, right? Even if you account for one, there's no way you're accounting for the other as part of that wide swing. Inters gets a freebie onto Hampus right here, but wants to make sure he doesn't go down after time. Even if he had died there before the time had expired, he would have been able to have a gun round. But now, by going down after time, he's going to be left on 2.8. Oh, hold up. Never mind. They dropped it. It's all good. It's all good. And speaking of all good, G2 fans, it's all good. G2 pick up the win over Imperial. They set themselves up in that 1-1 column alongside a crazy list of teams. An actual crazy list of teams. And Imperial, unfortunately, now find themselves in the 0-2 column, battling for survival tomorrow in the best of 3.
Yeah, make sure you set your morning alarms, because I think the best of 1s are going to be worth a watch tomorrow. Very much so. Those 1-1 matchups.
NIP will have more than salvaged this half, by the way, Alex. If they walk away with 9-6, Cloud9 won the first 5 rounds of the game. What a comeback this would be from the Swedes. Really well handled, and again, the frag distribution. Look how close it is.
What I find so impressive is not only, Brolin's just tied himself right up with the rest of his squad mates, but everyone's pulling their weight. Get flashed, I assume. Oh, they're really poking and prodding from every angle. Brolin's not going to be caught out immediately. Still has Arch. And swung through. Nice from Nafany. Catches Hampus. That's an opening kill for Cloud9. 7 would be a nice recovery. Brolin is going to meet Hobbit as well, so very nicely played. And you can see Nafany's got the CT rotate locked down. deals with Plopsky.
B's open. They killed Plopsky and Brolin. Should they take the bomb back to B? Or is there time? 25 seconds. They're just going to kill them all.
Yeah, they're just going to take the biff. And there you have it, an 8-7 half. A little recovery on the final round of play. You can see that run from NIP. So a very competitive game for us here on the mainstream.
Yeah, and you spoke about how stoic they were with their utility. They're late into the game, right? And that's why the conversation early from me was about Cloud9 and the pace in which they were approaching. It was, I think, to condition NIP to make sure that they had to use their nades early. But whether the Storm had some more heads-up, Biffy style of Counter-Strike on the CT side where they took the duels, and then they could go back to the game plan that works against Cloud9, which is limp out that utility slow and steady, making sure that when they do want to take territory, you're greeting them with just as much of your own. Here we go. The odds still quite heavily favoring Cloud9 here. And, wow, 8-7. Quite a good half here. Julie's out in the hands of Shiro. He's been dropped them. Kit, HE for Hobbit. 2 flashes for Inters to try and facilitate. And on the T side here from NIP, it's a 2-3 spread. 3 over towards second mid. They're flashing the fight coming on through. Nafany can't connect the dots, can't find a fight, but Axel can, and he's being gooshed. Not long for this world. Esatag will find him.
How many people actually connected a bullet onto Axel there? Okay.
This is still huge from Nafany, though. The fact that he's tucked on down quite aggressively, they are noting that there is the potential for this aggression. You can tell just by the way that Hampus is trying to sniff out the T-house. So with this, it's very likely they clear this corner. I think Nafany thinks he has all the room and they don't know, but he should go down. Yeah, exactly that. Now A's open. When you have a player that forward, if they want to get a bit more pep in their step, you would normally, with a player that far ahead of the pack, be, well, saying A's clear. And that's not the case whatsoever. All 5 members from NIP bearing down now.
Yeah, they're not going to let anything slip away. Something that I wasn't smart enough to contribute to, a conversation in the green room.
Okay.
Maui says nothing triggers him more than seeing CT save on a CT pistol.
Okay.
But like I've always thought we justified it like, oh, some Kev, get the free upgrade.
Yeah.
Could you understand where Maui would be coming from? Is it cash? Is it you can always afford to take something away from the T's? I mean, I wasn't smart enough. I just kind of smiled and nodded.
Yeah, look, I think, and I don't know if we're even going to get to see it here. I think Shiro might go on down. But one of the things with saving on the CT pistol, if it is the armor left over, it means that it's going to free you up with a few extra resources into the next round. And something which teams have been doing a little bit more of recently is once they do save the armor, then they'll have a FAMAS, right? You know, if somebody got a kill, they'll make sure there's a FAMAS in play. And that right there can be quite strong because, you know, FAMAS with Kevlar, I know it's not head armor, but it still can be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and angle dependent. There's lots of spots you can get away with. Hobbit is going to save himself a kit and a nade. And that's an NIP pistol, so... Ooh,
okay, got something. Yeah, well, Shiro will be able to get at that FAMAS now if he would like, and he can actually drop those Julies across. So if they wanted to force, and it looks like they are, it can be quite a tidy force coming on through. And then there...
The defense around does seem rather...
Direct?
Yeah, direct.
Yeah.
I was going to say clear intent. NIP just off the break without any information.
Axel needs multiple kills here. This round's over.
He's got a rather flamboyant setup on the 5-7. He's going to eat a flash. Oh, no, he's not. Still doesn't get anything done, and that FAMAS does nothing. NIP set for a 10th.
We will see another Cloud9 save here. There's no way into a round like this. If you want to linger around and see if you can get maybe a gun like that, then yeah, you can justify it. But otherwise, it's going to be more of the same. Cloud9, we're playing the percentages, holding on to the armor, holding on to the upgraded pistols here, and trying again into the next round of play. NIP already know this, right? There's no threat, there's no shots, there's no sound cues of any regard. So they know that if they wanted, they could start to have a little bit of a look around here and apply some pressure, but Brolin's passive position over towards T-Stairs means that they just might want to hold on to their goodies too. And NIP have come on in here with quite a clear game plan.
I mean, Cloud9 were everyone's favorite, and NIP, in their first game against Vitality, people very quick to dismiss as A, you know,
Vitality.
Vitality. Yeah, B, Apex's career low major performance in that map alone. And that Lightning wasn't going to strike twice in the form of an Esatag top frag. But so far, Cloud9 have yet to be able to dig their teeth and dig their claws into the Inferno and start running away with it. 5-0 was great, 2 on the tail end of the half made it an 8-7 half. But NIP, this is going to be their next big test. Quick tech pause. It looks like we're going to have to just quickly get a couple of players out and in.
Yeah, losing a couple of them out of the server right now, so maybe just need a quick restart, maybe just a quick chop or change and check of a setting. These things don't normally take too long. But yeah, we need to see a bit more bite, because you're right, it was really those first 5 rounds of play where Cloud9 looked extremely threatening. Now, they obviously haven't been able to get stuck on their CT side just yet when the rifles come out, but I guess the fact that they are on the CT side second here means it's not going to be able to just constantly go for the saves. They will round restore going on, and should be getting this one back underway any second. Tomorrow we'll be getting into 4 more best of ones to start in the 1-1 matches. There'll be 2 on each stream, the A and the B, and then there'll be 2 best of 3s on each. 2 of them being elimination, 2 of them being progression for the first teams locked in for the playoffs.
Na'Vi are up there.
Yeah, and this will be the 4th team to join the bunch with the Flames.
Spirit, Na'Vi, and this team.
Yeah, and it sounds a bit odd when you say the first one, Spirit, and then Flames, or you're like, okay, Na'Vi, okay, that one makes sense.
If they missed it as well, Chad, I mean, like, to summarize that heroic game, it was actually just Team Spirit
playing some good Counter-Strike.
Playing good Counter-Strike. I don't think any alarm bells should be ringing for heroic fans, more so than perhaps it's going to shake the mental, but just, yeah, Team Spirit playing a very good game, and Patsy just being another one. I can't believe we...
During their first game against Outsiders, Shiro has been gifted the opportunity to build... Oh, Famous again, and the combo of the 2 strike. Esatag and Plopsky down, and a 5-on-3.
That is a dream start for Cloud9 on a half buy. I mean, there are gaps, and you can see Rez is immediately trying to thrust himself through it. Axel to address it. When there's smoke, there's usually fire. More to come. Rez has slipped into the library, trying to find one. I think he may have caught a barrel of Shiro. And now confirms Nafany. Woof, dinks him with the dualies and the dunk from Shiro. Activated on the FAMAS. 2 kills on this weapon, and there's a third on the agenda. Brolin known, tagged, and soon to be body bagged. He's got 1 out with the MAC-10. Oh, what long range! Takes down Inters. And he's not stopping there. He's still trying to get into the site. Brolin a threat now. He could be cleared. He's not ready for this.
They don't know he's out, though.
Here's them both. Sight! Oh, Brolin's doing it! This is craziness. I think he knows Hobbit's there. Oh. Jumps through. Hobbit will pull it across the line, but not without a heroic attempt from Brolan. Catapults to the top of the table, but still Cloud9 win. A half buy investment, and those 2 frags on the break is how they find it.
Yeah, Nafany willing to give Shiro back the FAMAS to have a second crack. It was the same 2 A defenders, but this time with a more proactive approach on their A hold. Aggressive apartments so they couldn't be popped on like the previous. And Shiro now, today, in 3 rounds of lighter buys, he has had massive impact. On Mirage, he had 1 round on the T side, 1 round on the CT side, and now here on Inferno, getting it done when Cloud9 needed him.
Oh, cancels his plans there. Esatag has to cancel his plan. You can see he's communicating as well. There is a gap that has to be filled. Hampus already in the apartment.
Yeah, that sends Axel, oh, sorry, Shiro back quite quickly with the AWP. Pepperdon down to 60 points of health. Cannot reside up and towards the apartments any longer. No banana control just yet for NIP, but it's not being fought for by Cloud9.
Interesting. You can see that they are concerned about the boost. They're coming through, so they're going to take full top mid control. No AWP allowed to be patrolling for answers, so they are in the dark as it stands.
This might come quick. Look at the space they're taking. They're creeping and looking for fights here.
No bomb commitment, but they are poking and prodding.
They're very forward positions. It means that Cloud9 can't really rotate.
And now the line is drawn in the sand. Util sails over. Couple of flashes. The last of them.
space that NIP were able to take there completely undetected was insane. It just went from 0 to 100. I know that the territory is given on up, but the only thing you hear is the moto smoke, a flash, and then both of you pop your heads up and you're dead. The round is already done. You didn't even get an opportunity to be a jarring force whatsoever in slowing down the Swedes, who have just grabbed their 11th round, 5 away from putting himself in that 2-0 column.
Amazing scenes. The flashbang they used on to catch Nafany. I mean, he has 0 time to react. A perfect pop flash. And as long as you've got teammates that are willing to take that space and take that ballsy push, you've got a round very quickly. Really cool way to put a T round on the board. It's going to put us up to, yeah, a 3-1 scoreline in the second half. It was 8-7, but NIP, they are within touching distance. If they can break through a fully bought up CT squad here, Shiro is going to be on his AWP.
Shiro needs some help, though. And I mean in terms of just individuals trying to shut it down. Right, I know that Inters is at 10 and Hobbit's on 11. They were both on the other side of the map. Nafany and Axel are holding this ace side. Haven't been contributing in buckets and spades just yet. But under control this time. So Hampus, wherever he wants to go, the aggressive in-game leader will take the space, have his teammates try and set him up, and they get to isolate a fight. Exchanging flames here as both are held at bay over towards Banana.
Tempered in their progression. Nade is good onto Brolan. Next step, flash and jiggle. Nothing.
They are being very threatening, though, early.
All the time.
Yeah, like every piece of utility as well is just setting them up to take that next step. And this is to help...
Dreamy.
Yeah, this is to help force Cloud9 into using that util. We know that...
And here they come. A full commit. Shiro, perfect contribution. If he could get anything else done, his team should be set for success. Time, light on. Another contribution from Shiro, and finally Cloud9 looking to set for a clean one. It's just 2 Swedes remaining, or rather, 1 of each. His S-Attack, the exception, now has to be exceptional. He's got 15 seconds, the poor soul. Hanging out with the fish. He's heard, he's sprayed, he's planting, he's dead. That's the end of my TED Talk. 11, though, to 9. That's Cloud9 find themselves a convincing defensive round.
Okay, keeping it competitive here. And I said that, you know, Shiro needs some help. Apparently he doesn't. He'll just do it all. Just rotates on over and pips 2 on the way on in. You could see them posturing, hoping for the peak. And then they waited so long, he didn't peak. And then as soon as they moved on in, he did. So Shiro being quite the force right now, as it is a 2-round game. Enough for a bye here for NIP. It's very tidy in how they took that map control. Now, I guess it can be Hampus' watch, because where he seems to go, the team seems to follow.
Yeah, very, very much one of the in-game leaders to watch in the fragging department.
Looks like they want to go B again here, but this time with less tells. More bodies. Oh!
If Hobbit's getting warmed up, you really should be scared. He gets info, gets away, and surely NIP pull the plug on this. You don't want to full commit into them. It does seem like they do exactly want to do that.
Well, I think they want to get ahead of this Shiro rotation, and because it's so early and the util hasn't been used so quickly, Cloud9 haven't gone for that gamble, and now that it's a 4-on-5, maybe they feel that they don't have to. But unless Shiro and Inters can get a kill or 2 between them here, this will still be a hard retake.
These flashes aren't going to stop. Hampus has 4. Just going to keep throwing them out. More to come. They're in the open. Inters has to hold on, and has. He gets 2, 3 from Inters. Lordy. And Hampus is his next victim. He's only got 30 HP. He is done for. The rotate wasn't necessary, Chad. He's done it on his own. You said they had to show up, and they have. Oh, and you know that feels good. Cloud9, they can count on Inters. 3 kills on the NIP commit. That's going to have to force them to change their plans. B site is not a gimme.
That was huge as well. And you could see the amount of Molotovs used in the site right there. It was just laden with flames. The 2 players, Inters and Hobbit, were touching. They were connected by a rope right here. You can see them bumping into each other and still able to convert 3 massive kills. Huge from Inters. That's what you need from your rock right there. And then the mop and bucket comes out for Nafany. As NIP are left with pebbles and peanuts here as they're just down to these pistols and going fast B. Hobbit's going to have a field day here. 2 for him. And Inters is looking for another 3-piece.
Delicious. Oh, he's done it with the flames instead. So, done the cooking.
Flambéed. come on, boys, you went fast.
I mean,
what are you stopping for now?
What is there to really get done? Run boost, of course. Yeah, that was what they needed. Less than ideal. We're going to be seeing a couple of Galols. And wow, is that really NIP's first timeout? There's another feeling. This is where we start to see the mark of that changing of the tide once again. Cloud9 with funds in the bank, a fully invested defensive side. And I mean, you know it's serious when Hobbit's not smiling. Try to keep a stone face as he makes sure his troop on his own. What's his plan?
Could just be a peek on the flag. Oh, jump for info. Re-peek off of this. He's likely to know there's no AWP, so this is confident stuff from Shiro here.
Yeah, just going to hold it. I have mid, he says, as one does jump across. Unless he's got eyes in the soles of his feet, will not have that info back. Where did Brolin's health just go? One down the gullet, more nades scooped up.
Again, but last time they full B-exec, it was with like 3 Molotovs. Oh dear, Nafni has so much info. Get a move on right now. Inters can rotate on over. On an island is Hobbit. The fact that Nafni's so far forward, they should be rotating 2 players and swiftly.
They are. There's a barrage.
It might be too late.
Like already committing in. Rez feels like the site might be...
Gap in the smoke.
Huge gap. But Rez across. Nice find through the smoke. Brolin unable to contribute a thing, but they are in. More info on the gap. They've got so much util for this retake. The bomb now down. A man to the good are Cloud9.
And 2 Banana on the retake right here. They have NIP pinned on in.
Flashing bad. Frag is better. Axel's got away back into through Banana. They're just in pool. Oh, and another smoke frag. Hobbit doesn't need to see anyone. He's already got 2. A third seems likely. They just drop to the Hobbit. And that is another spotless round, a retake on B. And NIP so stubborn on this B site. They will not learn.
That right there, though, I was very, very worried there for the Cloud9 defense because they were out of position. They had 4 over towards A, even with Nafani's forward position in towards the boiler room. It was just Hobbit on the site, but it actually worked out in their favor that they were playing retake on B because it meant they didn't take any casualties. There was forced gaps in the smokes right there because of how flustered it was onto the way into the site, and that caused bigger problems for NIP because every time they've entered B previously, they've been dealing with the deep play from Hobbit, from Inters into the backlands, or Shiro playing coffins with that AWP. This time, a whole different look. If you can't find the fights, they couldn't get into the site cleanly. They're going to have a hard time of holding on to this one. And consecutive timeouts now called from DJL to try and have a conversation about how they can get themselves back into this game. They don't have enough.
There's a one-way in play here. Axel's thrown it out. That should cage any progression that Polomsky was considering.
This is very telling of once they get the territory they want, it will be some form of a set piece. Right? They've invested into this utility for a reason. They've got a whole bunch of smokes, a bunch of flashes. Now, if it's progressive, right, they could just work on mid-wall control first, or it could be more explosive. Smoke towards long, trying to draw out some util. It's doing exactly that. Flash top mid, and they will be given control here. So a lot of room garnered for NIP, still with a minute on the clock.
Yeah, and if you really want to run into a 4-man stack, it's unenviable. Plopsky could molly Graveyard or Pit. He's the only one that's detached from the pack. Orp fires off a shot. Shiro noted. Smokes in the sky. They are committing here, and Inter's in the power position. They've missed the molly. Oh no, they know where he is at least. Oh, damn, he's down, and only Axel, the one spray, one frag may not be enough. Insufficient as they do open up. There was a 4-man stack on the site.
splashes in future rounds, so that AWP can't be a problem. And then try and go for these shortened Halls plays.
I mean, look, the two players that have been your biggest problems have both been problems at B.
Exactly.
It's Hobbit. Both forced to save. I mean, why? It's definitely in your interest to have it less than favorable for them to have impact. Admittedly, you don't know what the reaction might be out of the Cloud9 setup.
But they even had 4 here, Alex.
Let me
This is
see
the
how this
crazy
went so
thing.
wrong. So Nafli's fully blind, fine. Smokes completely nullifies Shearer's contributions. Intis gets run down, and then it was really Axel who couldn't get more than the multi-kill he was required to find. But yeah, the util, I mean, you talk about executes. That was just pistols.
Oof, last timeout called from Cloud9 here as well. So last opportunity that Groove gets to take the sting out of a round loss like that. Now, they did hold on to a couple of guns. There's still residual cash left over for Cloud9 here. It will take 2 consecutive of NIP wiping them out completely. This being one of those 2.
Shiro really does only... Oh, he's got 6k. Okay, he just hasn't bought.
It might be the AWP on the ground as well here. Looks like, yeah, he's got it over towards library to scoop one up. It's just obscured
Oh, there
by
it
this
is.
banner.
I see her. I see her there. Okay, I was making me weirded out.
But this is the thing, right? So you had 4 at A and you still lose to a Tech 9 round? Like, you almost have to be certain that they'd want to go back towards A again.
No doubt about it. See what the change-up is.
Well, into starting A is a change-up.
And it's all and Hobbit that's willing to stomach a solo B.
This is the same setup they went for before when Nafany pushed on in towards the window room and had a lot of info. I don't know if he wants to go for the same type of maneuver, but they don't want to give up the mid control this time. Look at how many forward positions they have on mid right here. AWP on the slither gap, Inter's anti-flash, Nafany on the jiggle, and Axel babysitting Halls, who could also contribute to fight top mid. So they don't want to give up that space again, Cloud9.
Might be taken from them. Coming through Boiler. Smoke, and Intis does not choose. Barrel sticks out, and problems now. Nafany double, running out of time. 8 seconds, the triple kill out of the plant. It will be 2v3, but so much done by Nafany, and only Brolin now. He had a close one before. Could he possibly pull the clutch? An ace clutch, no less, out of the bag. Coming in from every angle, still Pit occupied. Inter's longside his first focus, and already chipped away at. That's the end of that. Cloud9 recover, courtesy of Nafany. 3 on their commitment.
He's got 11 kills to his name here, but that is only his second multi-kill in the game so far, and a multi-kill that he had to get right there to shut that one down, because you saw the barrel get spotted on the way through that long side. Shiro just gets absolutely blanked. And Nafany steps on up, mows them down, and grabs Cloud9 their 13th. But this game is back and forth, a tug of war. The plant is great. It gets NIP back into the buys here, but here it is one more time. The in-game leader. 3 huge kills, and he knows how much that one means. Getting fired on up. That's his signature right there. And NIP back into a timeout of their own. Well, we said it's likely that they continue towards A. They went into a less defended bomb site this time round and were unable to collapse with the rifles in the same way they did with the Tech 9s in the previous. Still plenty of cash. No T-sided AWP being opted for here, and you can understand why. They're operating as quite the unit here, NIP, and it is tidy. But do they want a playmaker now to enter the server and try and find them something early? Because they're getting the space. Do they want to find an opening kill? Do they want to be a bit more aggressive in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, for the last 2 rounds, it's been just Hobbit to B. There's not going to be a lot of util that will stand in your way. I say that as they dispatch 3 off spawn. So if you do try knocking on Banana's door now, there is going to be a lot more than you bargained for. Faking it. Pulls more utility out of the CTs as Rez will mantle up. Typical procedures, announcing an app's presence. 3 of them, in fact, are actually maneuvering. Only Rez the one to make a song and dance about it.
Yeah, this is actually quite conservative stuff from NIP. It's just a default spread in similar fashion as what Cloud9 would do, right? Avoid as much utility damage as possible, and Shiro apparently wants to have a look mid-round. AWP trained, shot taken, aggression noted, and that's going to make them a little bit more skittish as they try and take this mid-control here.
Ooh, and yeah, actually that incendiary extinguished through the boiler smoke. So a bit unfortunate there.
Knocking on the door of A again, 57 seconds on the clock. Flash forward, mid-control taken, and maybe they want to try and creep up again. We've seen it work once for NIP.
This is dreamy.
This is the same play. This worked for them before.
Yeah, but Nafany's not going to be susceptible to that same flashbang. And now Exile has, at any point can strike Rez long range onto Shiro, so he doesn't go down empty-handed. You do see the nade softening him up. 7 HP, and that is another successful A take from the Ninjas. I mean, I was going to say if it ain't broke, but it was previously. They just come straight back to it.
Yeah, we've seen that round before out of NIP, right, where they're able to snake their way up and be so threatening right there. But that shot over towards Shiro in Library, right, he takes a little bit of flak damage, and then I think that being scared on off, right, he peeks back in and gets absolutely destroyed right there. And in that kind of a passive setup, it's great if they execute. It's not great if they walk on up on you like that, because they can just sit, wait, and isolate the fights. How are you meant to get out of the cold zero box and the graveyard position? You're very, very locked on those holds.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cloud9 opt for something more forward.
They have to.
I mean, boost up on quad, have someone anti, someone underneath. Just don't let NIP ever get into that stats, because that just seems like a guarantee. Once they've got that much territory and can just slowly dig their claws deeper into you. This is 13-13. We continue to trade blows back and forth for the last 4.
Brolin has really turned this game around. Now, I know it was the super, super early stages, but you remember, I think it was like 0-5 at one point. He's now topping the scoreboard right here for his squad. 17 kills for him, 13 for Esatag, 12 for Rez, 11 for Plopsky, and 10. And butter of the high level play. The boiler and holds control. They can't take this fast flank. Maybe relinquish this long side. They're not really using it. They're not going long whatsoever, right? It's traditionally mainly up this short side.
It would be out of character from Cloud9 though.
Well, the fight's coming again here. Rinse and repeat from NIP.
Yeah, but nothing to report Banana, but safe passage through CT. Falls a little quiet for a moment. 3 CTs maneuvering back to the A site, but here comes the Ninjas. Just multiple stages to their take. Axel burnt, hiding in the smoke. Nafany pre-aims perfectly to the drop-off, and he's got Brolin in his sights as well. Can't seem to finish him, and it's Hampus that saves him from the heavens, from the top rope. Axel can't find anyone. He's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, and we will find a 2v2. Now, the bomb is in pit. You've got 30 seconds, and Hobbit's heading on over. The re-smoke should deny any contributions from Hobbit. Intis has short side, though. Had short side. He won't have any options now, so they can leave pit. 15. Apps possible. Hampus, considering his options, will support from pit. It's been very much heard. And on the lead. Oh, he's been spotted out. Oh, a dink exchange. The AK's better. And NIP leave with the 14th.
Wow.
DJL knows how much that one means. He was so close.
What a tight round that one was, especially with the dink coming on through. A risk taken from Hobbit there to push through the smoke and try and catch a bit of a timing. The shot was good, just couldn't connect onto the second bullet necessary to get that kill.
Look at Axel's maneuver. So he actually leaves pit completely, safe and sound, strikes onto Esatag, but this second 2v2, oh, dink exchange, and Rez quick onto Inters, so
they're really negating Axel's position in pit, because every time he's dropped that smoke to play around the bike, they've had the perfectly placed Molotov.
This is new.
Well, we saw them do this with the Save Famus and the P250, not with an AWP and an M4.
Could catch the bedroom progressions. Rez has got into the apartments uncontested. I'd argue and wager 7 rounds.
Oh, Nafany's just rotated over towards B here, so they're thinking NIP are going to change their direction, but A, it's a leaky ship right now.
Plofsky, surely you don't get away with that. All apps, they scream as they do start to launch. They know, wait, 2 apps. Oh, it doesn't matter. Axal's got all 3 of them on the cross back in the setup. It works like a dream. Cloud9 with 2-man A-hold. Axal awoken. And it's just Plofsky. Good luck, have fun. Nice headshot onto Shiro. Stops it from being a full whitewash. Perfect. 66. And another frag for Plofsky. Surely there's nothing more to be said. The plant will go uncontested.
Another kill would be great here. The cash isn't great over there for Cloud9. If Plofsky can take one more, he's already got the bomb down. This is a very threatening round around the flames here. Oh, the line
that
out.
could have been a headshot. Yeah, that dip under it. So we recover. And we continue to trade blows.
It's fortunate he didn't get another kill there. They'll scavenge the AWP back. They can drop that over. It's going to be fine regarding the buy, but if Plofsky did any more damage, it would have been some real issues for Cloud9.